I can't hardly see this viewfinder, so hopefully this is a good view. This is going to be a little bit different, actually quite a bit different from anything I've been doing as of late here on After Prison Show, but that is exactly what I want to do, is completely different. I have got to figure out a way to reinvent the wheel, and one of the ways that I'm hoping to do so is to be getting out more. That's exactly what I used to do. So hey, it's kind of like we're going back to what we used to do. Just talking in circles. There's no jokes about today, I don't think. Maybe there'll be a few. But today I'm getting ready to do an update with an individual you couldn't even believe who was sitting next to me. Somebody we haven't seen in a long time, quite possibly somebody there's high energy and emotion behind from the past here on After Prison Show. It is going to come as an absolute shock who I'm getting ready to talk with and hear what has been going on since we last heard anything about this person. Folks, sitting right beside me is none other.
Hi guys, back on After Prison with Joe again, and I got the opportunity to talk to him today, and here we are, and doing exactly what we used to do. I think, Joe. I think we're full circle here on this. I think the difference is this time it's a little more. I think a little more serious. Some of the things that went on in the past left a bad taste in probably a lot of people's mouth, including my own. The apology to Matt, I did that once before, but I felt like I owed Matt a sincere apology, and about the way things went with the vehicle and all the help that he gave me and all the help that you gave me, and the way that just kind of all went, for lack of a better word, tits up. Now it's a little bit different. I'm a little more humble. As you probably told everybody, the girl that I was dating was killed in a drunk driver's accident on Volvo Battlefield. She was a passenger in the vehicle. The guy that was driving made an illegal U-turn there, and they were impacted by a Jeep Cherokee, and it killed her in the back seat. Kind of changed my whole demeanor on how I view things. And I wound up coming out of jail after literally taking the charge to make sure she didn't go to jail, and actually landed on my feet, Joe. I've got a guy who's letting me stay at his house, has offered me a job. I'm dating a woman that's a woman that's not a 20-year-old girl, and so I'm doing a different scenario of things. It's not the same old Joe. And I've been trying to get in touch with you to sit down and have this discussion for a while. I've got an opportunity where I'm working with this girl's father. Basically, it's sales. He owns a company that has eco-friendly products. Anyway, that's besides the point. The point is I'm glad you gave me the opportunity to come back and, first of all, apologize to Matt. Second of all, apologize to you. And, whether the APS Army needs an apology or not, yeah, they probably do. I appreciate the opportunity, to sit down and do this, So, Is that happy enough for you?
Not even close. But I hate the fact that we're sharing this mic.
I do too.
But we're too close to have two mics going. It just wouldn't work out that way. All right, a lot to unpack right there with what Tom has just shared with us. Look, the last time that we saw you was on a video visit and you were in jail. Tom, I actually have to be real with you right now. I would be doing you nor me any favors if I didn't read you this chat right now.
Okay.
Colin says he doesn't like you. Mass 1 says he doesn't like you. Tom ended up getting locked up for a drug charge. It was a pipe charge.
Paraphernalia.
He takes the charge for a woman. He wants to protect the woman. The woman ends up getting killed in a car accident, unfortunately. And, you got to imagine she had to be a hell of a friend to Tom for him to take this charge for her. And what an unfortunate situation that she loses her life. But Tom, a lot of things happened prior to you getting locked up, including an awesome supporter of After Prison Show, a guy named Matt, who gave you a car, gave you some money, a good amount of money, gave you $500, and that situation ended poorly. The car has since disappeared. Tom, where is the car?
So the vehicle got taken by a girl that I was associated with, and I believe she took the vehicle over to this guy, Tom Bohan's, at a place called, it's a motorsports on Chesapeake Boulevard. The guy owns a car audio place. And he's claiming he doesn't know anything that happened to the vehicle, blah, 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 blah. But the vehicle was at his establishment, and he had the keys. So it's a good question, is what happened to the vehicle. Because every time I try to get a hold of this guy, he either blocks my phone number or won't take the phone call. So that's the situation I'm dealing with that.
Pass that blunt.
Big blunt.
What an awkward... Should have had such a better situation going on for this update. Such a critical and large update that we're doing here. Tom, it would be adventurous to go try to find the car. We could go there.
Yeah. Yes, we could.
But what's done is done. I'm sure the car is long gone by now, and that's unfortunately water under the bridge. I don't know that the relationship between you and Matt can ever be what it once was, but it's the cost of the lifestyle. You were dealing with some shit, undoubtedly, addiction, I'm sure, and you're in a better place now. I can actually vouch for that. I know where you're staying. I've seen that. I've seen the living situation. As a matter of fact, I need to make a confession to all of you out there. This is not the first time that I'm reconnecting with Tom since he's been released. Can I share that story?
Sure.
Tom actually threw me under the bus the first time that we got together. You see, I thought we were going to go do an update video on what was going on with Tom. Instead, I get to his location where he's living at, and I walk into a sales pitch. A bit of an infomercial is exactly what it felt like. The cleaning products, the eco-friendly that Tom's selling, I was pitched on that as well, too.
Well, I mean,
For like an hour and a half, I was handcuffed and shackled. I felt like I was a hostage in a basement somewhere.
Well, I mean, in all fairness, it was an honest pitch, and he was trying to see if it was something that you'd be interested in. Yeah, the product is really good. It's actually called EcoSolve Technologies. They're based out of Virginia. They're in 16 different countries. They have products for agriculture, for fertilization, things to do with farming, things of that nature. But I'm actually working with a product called Equine Wash. It's used for pets and dogs and horses and things of that nature. Anyway, but that's the end that I'm involved in, and I'm not going to do a sales pitch on After Prison Show for that product. But you should get in touch with me about this. You really should. You should contact me if you're interested and you happen to own a dog grooming company or a pet grooming company. You should contact me. Get a hold of me through Joe. Good pitch? No, bad pitch. It was better than the pitch you got.
That's for damn sure. Crazy how you never know what you're going to walk into sometimes, especially with this guy right here. Look, I don't want to make this anything less than what it is. It's important to do this update with Tom because, unfortunately, Tom has been a bit of a punching bag, a proverbial punching bag here on After Prison Show. And it's safe to say that, in a lot of regards, he's done that to himself. But he's a good guy. When he's sober, he's a great guy. And he is such a talented individual, especially when it comes to this video work. You couldn't even believe the ideas that I was trying to pitch him on with this sappy update. Matter of fact, I think we're going to include a little bit at the end of this, if you're okay with that.
Yeah, we should definitely do some outtakes.
I want to show you how sappy I really wanted to, just make them feel sorry for you type shit. I was thinking with this, you'll probably hate me for this, but it's worth sharing with you. I think it'll be somewhat entertaining. Tom, how long have you been released, and what's life been like for you this go around?
I've been out since June. I got out.
Try to wait till I hand you the mic.
Oh, how about that? How about I wait until you hand me the mic? I got out in June, 2 days after Allie was killed in a car accident. It was hell. I'm not even gonna lie. I relapsed immediately relapsed when I got out because of the situation. And then I ran into my friend that I'm dating right now, and she pretty much gave me the old, hey, are you a fucking idiot kind of thing, and helped me get my shit together. Literally, she really did. She literally took me from where I was staying, which was absolutely probably the worst freaking place I could be. It was like a commune with a bunch of people living in like homemade structures and stuff like that, and everybody was doing drugs, and so it was a bad spot. And she took me away from that, and I haven't looked back since. I'm not pressed for any of that anymore. I have issues that I have to still deal with from all of that. But it's one day at a time, every day for me. That's where I'm at right now. So, and in turn, here's the microphone.
Oh, I was about to say, were you done? Because I just snatched the mic back. You know, the last time that Tom was a part of After Prison Show, he had a stable place to live, but that still wasn't enough to keep him on the straight and narrow and keep him sober. Now he has, yet again, another stable place to live. And mentioning that he's been out since June, I didn't even know that. And hearing about the fact that he relapsed immediately, I didn't know that neither. But looking at where he is now, I'm happy to see the state of mind that he's in now, and the sobriety that he has for himself, that you have for yourself, Tom. I'm really happy to hear that for you and see that for you. This commune that you mentioned that you were staying at, man, I'd love to go check that out, man.
Oh, we could definitely do that sometime.
Yeah, that would be insane.
I'm trying not to have any interaction with anybody there, but yeah, I can show you exactly where it's at.
We could go undercover.
Undercover. That's right. That's what we'll do. So we'll go undercover. I'll pretend not to be me, and you can pretend not to be you. And how is this going to work? Because I'm just curious. 'Cause you do realize these are all tweakers.
We got to go in there and act like we're tweakers too.
It's tweaker land there. They're meth Americans. You know, it's tweaker land, man. Like for real. Like I'm not joking.
Hold on. We're on to something right here. I just mentioned at the beginning of this that we need something fresh for After Prison Show.
Getting shot at in tweaker land doesn't sound fresh, Joe.
Nobody shoots. Well, I was going to say nobody shoots you during a skit video or it's a prank. It's a prank. Everybody's getting shot nowadays doing that. But no, seriously, it would be interesting to go undercover and to see the way that these folks are living. We would have to act in part like tweakers. Could you imagine me?
No.
Looking tweaked out?
No.
Could you imagine people asking, "Are you a cop? Are you wearing a wire?" Some kind of a way we'd have to be recording all of this. That would just be something. But yeah, and those have come a long way since the last time that we were together, Tom.
Sure.
You know, you've got this new lease on life. You're sober. You're selling a cleaning product. You're probably in exactly the line of work that was always meant for you. You know, what are you hoping to accomplish? You have no car, no transportation, I imagine. What are some goals that you've set for yourself and things you're trying to accomplish?
Well, that was kind of where I was going with this, Joe, was when I said I still have some things to resolve. I still have to resolve the situation with my license. I had a DWI back in 24. And I think I may have even told you about briefly about that. Somebody gave me fentanyl pressed Xanax pill, and it killed me. I was found in the vehicle, in the driver's seat.
The car that Matt gave you?
No, in somebody else's car. I was driving there. Supposedly, they put me in the driver's seat, drugged me over to the driver's seat, and took off and left me in the car with all their drug paraphernalia, gun, and everything in the vehicle. I didn't get charged with any of it. All I got charged with was the DWI.
That sounds
It was
ludicrous.
crazy. Listen to me, Joe, when I say it was insane, it was insane. I woke up in the ER at Princess Anne, Centera, to 2 uniformed officers and the ER staff saying, okay, he's coming to. Being asked if I would submit to a blood test and all that. I had no idea what happened. I didn't know. I'm asking them what happened. And they said, well, you were found in the vehicle, blah, 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 blah. But I didn't know anything about all the other stuff that was in the vehicle because I never got charged with it. But once I found out, I had to go to court and everything, and I had to get I got charged with a misdemeanor, DWI, first offense. They gave me ASAP and all that stuff. I still have to resolve all of that to get my license and everything. So I'm working on all that right now. But that's when I found out. After talking to the officer, I went to see her because I couldn't find my car keys or any of that. She said, yeah, well, you have to go to property. So when you go to property, they show me a list of all the things that were in the vehicle. Crack pipes, syringes, a gun, everything in his vehicle. Now, the vehicle wasn't registered to me, and they had an eyewitness who said they saw the other person that was in the vehicle jump out of the vehicle after dragging me to the driver's seat.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and that person, of course, is still out there. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Because I didn't get charged with it, I'm just blessed to be alive, period. You know what I'm saying? Because the pill killed me, literally. She told me it was a Xanax. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think I remember briefly you telling me about that a little bit. My mind, I'm so ADD, so forgive this line of questioning, but I want to reminisce on something, and it's kind of funny and silly at the same time. Do you remember when you were locked up and we were doing the video calls and you were talking about that GoFundMe? If everybody would just donate one quarter.
One quarter. Yeah, look where that went.
I thought you were about to hit me with a pitch for a GoFundMe or help me get a car.
Yeah, I'm good with all that.
I want you to look, all right, enough silly shit.
Yes.
And I don't mean any. It's a very serious thing, the fact that, Matt gave you a car, gave you the money, and that situation turned poorly. And I know that, you've attempted to apologize to Matt a few different times. And again, like I said, I don't think that situation ever gets resolved. Who knows what the future would hold there. But just one time, I want to ask, I'm going to give you this microphone, speak to the camera like you're talking to Matt, and just tell Matt anything that you would want to say if you had the opportunity to talk directly to him.
Sure. Matt, we're both grown men, and I just want to make sure that you understand that I apologize for my insincerity, for my obtuse behavior. I really and truly feel badly about the way that all went. It shouldn't have went that way. You're a very good human being, and I hope and pray the best for you. I hope everything that you try to do, every endeavor that you ever try to do, comes to fruition, and you get everything that you need, dude. I really do. God bless you, brother. I appreciate everything that you did. I really do. Thank you.
yeah, I don't imagine that it's easy to eat crow and to, have to face the music and to kind of wear the fact that you f***ed up, right? Nobody would want to have to do that, and at times we do have to do that. We do have to just own up to the shit that we did. I don't want to pull any punches here. I mean, it was addiction that turned you into the piece of shit that you wore.
Absolutely.
I don't say that to be mean or callous or anything like that. I just want to start calling it for what it is. I got a mediocre construction endeavor that I do over on Joe Does Stuff, my other channel. And I've started to call us, I've started to develop this whole new business strategy and model or business name, and that is Section 8 Painters, where you cut cost while we cut corners. And it's a funny type of thinking and rationale and theory, but the truth of the matter is most people want the most for the least. And that goes far outside of construction and work and business endeavors. That goes for life too. Most people want the most for the least. But cutting costs while you cut corners is kind of a little out there. You never want to really call it for what it is that much. There was another motto that I came up with the line of thinking that in reality, we are probably the cheapest when it comes to why people are hiring us to do the work that we do. With that, my new motto became, hey, look, limit your expectations. And I share that with you because just as we are the cheapest, probably undoubtedly, when it comes to the work that we do, when you deal with people who deal with substance abuse problems and lifelong battles with addiction, you probably really ought to limit your expectations of what's going to happen with them and not be so surprised when shit goes wrong. And I relate to Tom a lot because in my previous life, before I was reincarnated with AfterPrisonShow, I was exactly the same way, a constant fuck up. I don't want to say that that's what Tom is, but that's what Tom is.
Well, let's call a spade and so forth and so on. Addiction is what it is. Addiction. Recovery is what it is. Recovery. And relapse is what it is, a relapse. When someone who's in addiction starts to relapse, it's not anybody else's responsibility to grab a hold of them and say, hey, buddy, you're freaking relapsing. It's not their job. It's not. But a friend should, call you out on it, which you did, Joe, which did make a little bit of a change. It did make a little bit of a difference, believe it or not. It's part of the reason why I actually wound up with Allie. With the whole situation with the vehicle and all that crap going on, I wound up getting with Allie to get away from the addiction crap. Unfortunately, we wound up, in a situation where our addiction caught up to us because of the crap that was in the vehicle. It created a vicious circle because it put me incarcerated, and it put her in a situation where she had no one to turn to except for pieces of shit that I used to hang out with, which left her swinging in the breeze, and in turn probably is the result of why she wound up dead, because she was hanging out with those people. So I'm not taking, before we take this the wrong way, I'm not saying that I'm completely to blame, but I'm culpable for my own actions. Absolutely. And so I play a part. But the fact of the matter is I'm an addict and I have to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm dealing with all of that plus the rest of my life. So, hey, look, if you look down at me, you look down at me. But you know what? At the end of the day, I'm standing on both of my feet and I'm sober today. By the grace of God, I'm sober today. So that's what it is.
A lot of strong energy right there from Tom. I know that people are going to latch on to a couple of things that he says throughout this, things I could have called him out on in this, and it's not about that. it's trying to but trying to put water under the bridge is all it is. There doesn't need to be an excuse, a justification, a rationale. It is what it is. Limit your expectations with this guy. I certainly have, and I don't mean that in a terrible way. It's just the truth. When a person is dealing with addiction, it's going to be a rocky road. Hopefully this time you can get enough sobriety with you that you're able to carry this on for some longevity. And I want to move forward from here. I don't know what the future holds. Yeah, I think back to so many good things that Tom and I did together. We did this thing, Toilet Talk. It was fun. We did these skit videos. They were fun. And, Tom always had a rough ride here on After Prison Show with people mostly, thinking negatively of him. I'm not asking anybody to change their views of this guy. He's just a guy who's trying to live and has the bravery to sit here and at least try to explain the situation in whatever way that he can. So for that, Tom, I do appreciate you taking the time to talk with us here and share, what's been up with you to give us this update. And I'm hopeful that from here we can do some funny stuff, because funny is positive. It always is. It gives you hope. It gives you something to laugh at, something to just change the dynamic and the mood of. One thing that I want to mention before we get close to wrapping this up, and I do want to toot my own horn a little bit here. In the past, so many calamities that have taken place on After Prison Shows, so many shit shows with so many different people falling back into addiction, and me being so quick to want to air that out. Hey, look, you're not going to be seeing such and such, or this is what happened with this person. I changed that type of thinking and that type of reacting a long time ago. And Tom's situation, this latest calamity that he just dealt with, should be a perfect example of that. I could have put it all out there. Hey, what happened to Tom? Because there were plenty of people who were asking me. Here was a guy who was showing up in video from time to time, and then all of a sudden he ain't showing up no more, and people are starting to put two and two together, and they were asking those questions. And it wasn't until we started doing the visits with you in jail, even then I still didn't put out the fact that of how shitty it ended up being between you and I. Addiction turns you into a person that you don't want to be. That's not who Tom is, and it's just it is what it is. But I am proud of myself for the way that I handled the last situation, and that gives us the opportunity here to see what happens moving forward. What would you like to see of Tom? Oh, I know those comments. Jump in front of traffic, you son of a bitch.
Hold on. There's a truck coming right now. I'll go jump for it. No, you want me to play in traffic? Sure, I'll play in traffic. I'll wear a Frogger suit, and we'll do that. Human Frogger. No? Not a good idea? You don't think so?
Humor is so freaking mundane.
I know, it's great though. But I'm saying it's hilarious. It's dad jokes. I mean, seriously. It's what it is. It's dad jokes. I do dad jokes. When you become a father, you do a lot of dad jokes. Anyway, but what I would like to see, Joe, and I hope that the APS Army comes together and says, hopefully the same thing, that they want to see the skits again, that they want to see Toilet Talk again, because everybody really enjoyed watching me sitting on a toilet bowl. I know they did. They figured that was the most apropos place for me to be sitting while talking to you. Just saying. Yeah, it's a fact. It was humorous. There's been enough on my end, grieving enough crap in my life where I'm wanting to, I'd rather smile for a little while. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather smile than frown. I'm tired of frowning. I'm tired of the crap. And to be perfectly honest with you, I'm tired of dealing with people that make me feel that way. You know what I'm saying? So I've literally cut off everyone that makes me feel like a piece of shit. So if one day I don't answer the phone, I'm saying, you know why?
Say less, Tom. Tom's in his feelings about some of this shit that I've said. Look, let's just call it for what it is. You're a piece of shit. Why ain't Tom answering the phone no more? Hey, look, it's good to see you, man, especially sober. you know, you can apologize till you're blue in the face to Matt.
That's my job.
For what you've done,
Yep.
but it is what it is. You think Matt's the only person that Tom's burned? Anyways, I don't say that to make light of it. It's what it is.
What it is?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I love that statement. It is what it is until it ain't. How about that?
It's good to do this update. I hope that you've made it through this. I want to include a little segment at the end, just showcasing, you know, the state of mind of a guy who realizes that he's made a lot of mistakes and, you know, try to make that somewhat enjoyable for you to see. It might be a little on the extreme side, but, well, it wouldn't be anything that we do.
Haven't done before.
It's not out of the norm of what this guy and I do when it comes to content. So, Tom, any parting words before we wrap this update up?
You know what they are. You know what they are.
Oh, God, if you say it.
I swear to God, here it is. Be kind. It's free. And if you're getting money or receiving something for it, you're doing it for the wrong reason. Here you go, bud. What else can
But
you
for only
say?
25 cents,
For 25 cents, I'll be glad. I'll be glad to be kind.
you can donate.
Donate to my GoFundMe page, which doesn't exist. Yeah. So, just donate to Joe. Joe can give me the money.
Oh, my God. All right, good
Moving
stuff.
right along. Moving right along.
Hold that real quick.
That's hilarious.
No, that was good.
That was funny. It was good. It went well. I felt.
Thought you were looking for a job.
Oh, I was looking for a job. Sorry. It was a commercial. See? Commercial.
Sad look, Tom. Looking off into the distance, pondering life, feeling apologetic, realizing that you're scum of the earth and that nobody likes you.
Haterade! I drink that shit for days.
Oh, God, all right.
Haterade! Oh!
Easy now.
Oh, man, if we had you limping around, too.
Oh my God, stop. It's bad enough I do limp.
I don't know why we don't just have you go hold a sign up on the side of the
Oh
road.
my God, that's not happening. My flying flag. No flags allowed.